Alright everyone, back at it again on a car. So I got some new sensors that came in, and the coolant sensor that goes right there where you see the hole. Also the high pressure switch right there for the AC. I'm still waiting on one sensor for the oil up near the oil filter, because that's broken as too. So gonna put these two sensors on. Well, actually, I already got one on. I'm gonna put the one sensor on, then put the alternator back on. Finish up most of the wiring up top, which is basically just the intake. But then I'm gonna mess with the what is it called? The brain fart starter. Get the starter hooked up correctly and put the long tube header back on for that. So yeah, we're getting pretty close. Once I put the starter and the long tube header on fully, and the alternator, I'm going to move on and start working on suspension tonight. I'm going to start with this back one and pull it out and put new assembly on there. So yeah, wish me luck. Oh, so yeah, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually install these DeWitt Spall fans. They move twice the amount of air as they're advertised, but they definitely help keep my engine cool once I got the LS3 in there. So the LS3 was causing me a lot of overheating issues. That's why I did the hood vents and hood from Track Motorsports. But once I put these in, car never overheat and stay right in with temperature range. One thing that's neat about them is that when you're going down the highway, these flaps open up, so it just allows direct airflow to the engine as well. So two there and two there. So I'm gonna go and install these. They're about to cost, they're like $250, I think, or they're like $400. I know it's a big difference in price, but they're expensive, but they're definitely worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in real quick. Alright, so here we are back with the engine installed. As you can see, I got most of the stuff hooked up. Even accessory belt and the AC belt is hooked up. The mass airflow sensor, I mean the whole air bridge and filters hooked up. Got both of the exhaust manifolds hooked up, as well as a starter. Even got the oil dipstick back in. The only thing left I haven't put in is actually the battery. So the front of the engine's all complete. The only last thing I have to do is hook up the rest of the exhaust underneath, and that's pretty much it. I'm still waiting on one sensor to come in, which is one of these, the oil sensors, the oil temperature sensor that's down there by the filter. That one doesn't come in until Monday, but I went ahead and put the coolant one on. As you can see down in there, you see a little gold in between. So yeah, all of that's all hooked up. The last thing I probably will do before is just to make sure all the wires are out of the way from the exhaust manifolds and any heat sources. I also have to go look at the other vests and figure out where this plug goes in, as well as this plug, because they're just hanging free and I don't see any open plugs. Right now, I'm going to move on to the suspension. This rear part, as you can see, this is the used one that I got from my friend Corey to replace that he had from another C5. So I'm gonna take this one completely off and just replace this, and hopefully that irons out the little incident, the little damage from the accident. So I might finish that tonight. I might just remove this and then put this one on later, because it's already about to hit midnight. So yeah, wish me luck. Alright, so here we are, got the old one off. It was a little more difficult than I thought, but it wasn't that bad. Got the pitchfork out right here, ball joint separator, put it in there and hammer it through to let it separate. Also had the big impact right here, putting on this huge nut that goes right here to hold it onto the axle, which is this nut right here. So, gonna go ahead and just mount the new one or replacement one in place, and then call it a day. One thing bummed me out, one of my lights went out, so that kind of reduced the lighting in the garage by half, but of course more things I gotta go get. But so I went ahead and put it on completely, And I can already tell when I put it on there, that little cant that it had before, I'm going to try to put up the before and after photo, is not there, and I'm standing straight up with the car. I did a quick test of putting the wheel on there, and it wasn't canted either. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up and put the caliper bracket on, and you know, the rotor and all that stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and see if the wheel, if this can be done as like a as a done deal. So I'm gonna go and get this started and try to finish it up.